So this is my used track off of my 850, so it had a couple lugs tearing out and a couple studs pull through, so I swapped it out for that pre-studded. So we're going to probably cut right through there, stretch it out, see how much track we have. We're going to use this as traction mat for loading snowmobiles, and then I'll pull all the studs off of this. Let's roll down there. Well, that's smelly. So if anyone's curious how long this is, as I am, never ever looked up what the snowmobile track length. Yeah. So when they say it's a 137 track, that's the whole thing stretched out like this. So this was a Renegade. And 137 inches of track to work with. I don't think I'll need it all. So I'll save some for some future projects. See how these things come out. Not too bad. I just have a lot more to go. Well, we got her done. So it's a little over 11 feet, 11 and a half feet really. So the goal is, this is going to be the traction to get up onto my single sled deck that I'm going to build for the truck. So that load angle is pretty steep. I don't know if you can see it in frame over there, but I have a rev arc snowmobile ramp. Worked fine for getting the sled in the back of the truck, but it's only 88 inches or something like that. So that load angle up to the top of the rails was way too steep. So I have a game plan for that. Hopefully it works out. And this is going to be the center traction mat. Whole bucket of studs came out of it. So I'll roll this up, get it out of the way, and then I'm going to go start in the basement on the deck. And that's going to be a few days. There's some gluing and painting and everything else for that. So once we get that built, we should be able to load the scan deck on the back of the truck with the Pelican underneath, and then have 18-foot trailer with all the beams on behind. So I'll be able to get the sled, tools, and a load of lumber in, all in one go. That's the goal of all this work. And I'm going to tidy up the garage a little bit, get all the equipment in, head to the basement. So I started this without, these are two UTV or ATV ramps by Long Ramps. I've had these since 2015 back from my side-by-side days. And I had a small enough side-by-side that would fit in the back of the truck. So held on to these the entire time. Because I now have a sled deck way up high, the load angle of these is way better than the 88-inch long rev arc ramp that I had for the snowmobile. That was not even possible, especially with the arc that it had. So I got these caliber rung protectors, because the carbides on the snowmobile skis will just shred the aluminum. So I got this one installed right here last night. We had a spacing block. I'll have to make a separate spacing block for the bottom halves of the ramp, because they're wider than the tops, because the tops will fold inside the bottoms. I'll be able to do the tops of both of these, and then I have some 1x2 aluminum that I'm gonna have to make some cross bracing, and then I'm gonna mount that track that you saw me cut up the center and fasten it to that, and I'll, run 11-foot ramps, and they'll all come apart, so it's not one big heavy thing. So yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I got this from good buddy John. Last night I did it with the hand riveter. They came with stainless hardware, but these are meant for 1-inch rungs, and the screws are too long. They bought them. I'd either have to pre-drill a through hole and have the sharp points of the screws sticking at the bottom, or I picked up 3 or 4 boxes of rivets and decided to rivet them with aluminum rivets. I got a few projects lined up this week, 130 to 200 rivets I'd have to do. So we borrowed the power guys, so try her out here. Never used it before, so we'll just pull the trigger. Oh, that's nice. That'll save the hands. Anyway, I'll get this all done and bring these back online when I figure out what I'm going to do for these cross braces. So I got this whole ramp done now. They're all fastened in, other than the tops and the bottom. So these rung protectors. So that's a 1-inch spread there, but the ones that I mounted on the sled deck, which you'll see in another video, they were flat. The kit I bought was intended for a 10-foot flat deck. I'm just about 9 feet, so I didn't need to use them all, but I did. They were supposed to be 10-inch spacing. I did like 8. I have tons of leftovers of these, so I just cut one on the table saw and cut all that off. And I think I'm just gonna bridge both of those bars, drill fresh holes, and rivet 6 of them in there, and that should work just fine, instead of trying to put one of these, cutting one or cutting a bit off of both and having it overlay hanging up front. So I think I'm going to do 3 more of those like that and rivet them on. Other than that, it's smooth sailing. Got a different size spacer for the bottoms, but yeah, just getting covered in black plastic now. Well, there's all the ski guides up both ramp. They're 100% fastened, so that's what the end ones ended up looking like. But I have that 1x1 piece left over from my boat build project, and that 1x2. So it's a little heavier wall aluminum I got from a buddy. So we're working with that today to make. So I have enough material. There was 8 feet to make 4 crossers. I just finished the first one. So basically it's the 1x2 on end. What I did, that's 3/4 inch plywood edging in there, riveted, and then I notched the width of that top flange into it, but didn't get into that 3/4 plywood edging. So that's going to sit there. Then these 2 3-inch pieces riveted on either side. So we're going to have 4 of these going down the length. I'm just using that as a spacer to give myself some play, because the ramps aren't going to be perfectly aligned every time. So the idea is to put one there, one at that rung there, and this rung here. Then I have some lighter duty aluminum to put at the bottom and top, and then I'm going to through bolt my track across all these crossers up the middle and fasten it to the top deck so that it's not all one big ramp. It'll come apart in 3 pieces. So no idea if it'll work, but we're putting a lot of effort into building it, and then we'll try it. 3 more to go. So you can see I got all 4 center rounds completed. That little Rubik gun was a savior. I think it's still reading full battery on a 6-amp power battery. And I've done 174 rivets. 126 in the ski guides, and then the balance, there's 12 per round, 48. So now the plan is to affix these to the old track with some stainless hardware. And the goal of this will be, hopefully it can roll up similar to this. Obviously these will be sticking out because they're 24 inches and this is only 15. But be able to fold these in half separate than this rolled up, and the ramp will be a lot lighter and easier to store under the top of the sled deck. So now I'll figure out the length and how we're going to do this. So I want a little excess up top because I'm going to have a mechanism where this quick pins into the sled deck and holds everything up there from being kicked out. So I do want some excess up there, but I would like this to go right flush down to the bottom. I think it's fine there. I just gotta get the slack out of the track as I fasten, pull up and down. Figure something out down here at the bottom with some smaller tubing that I have. Well, last night I threw the ramps up here, discovered a problem. So the front flap on these ramps is longer than the 2-inch angle iron I put there, and I butted the first ski guides right tight to the 2-inch. So I'm gonna have to remove both rear ski guides and slide them forward so that these bottom tabs here can sit right tight, and I can put a strap tight to the truck so they don't kick out. The other thing I gotta figure out is, so I have my other ramp is a rev arc ramp, and this was the tailgate saver. It distributed the weight across the tailgate and the bed, and it gave this step up here. I don't know if you can see it, the step up in height there, so that the ramp would sit down here and this would pick the track up so that you could pull the ramp out no problem without having to get under the sled and get the weight off the ramp. But with this setup, I don't think I'm going to mount this here. First of all, I'd have to cut this flange to 2 inches so that the tailgate could clear to come out, or have it overhanging way back here. The other thing is, so if it's sitting where it should, I cut the track at the right length to go all the way to here because my intent was to use this. But then that forces me to cut this, and I'm not sure I want to do this in case I use this in a normal pickup truck application again. And the other thing is I lose, I think it's 8 inches or something like that, of where my track on the snowmobile is contacting. So right now I have 105 inches of length to here. I'll lose 8 inches, and I have 2 long track sleds. So I was kind of wanting the sled supported as far as I could, and this prevents that from happening. So I don't think I'm going to hard mount it, and I kind of want to leave the sled deck as flat as possible in case I'm throwing other stuff on it. It's already bad enough with the ski guides sticking up, but I don't know, I gotta think through that. But for today, I gotta get the Scandics over there all warmed up. I'm gonna move these 2, strap the ramps tight, and throw the track on. I'm just gonna temporarily fasten the front of the track to the sled deck and load the Scandic up there for the first time without putting it through the back window of the truck. It's still waiting on the Lexan to come. It should be another 3 days yet before it arrives. But when I get it up there, I won't be able to remove the track because the Scandic's still going to be sitting on it. So I have to think my way through that. But I want to get it up there to give me an idea. So yeah, we're going to move those quick. Get everything strapped down. I'll show you how the track lays on it. It's not too bad. I tried it once yesterday. So I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, we'll see if we can get a Scandic up there, and maybe I'll drop the tailgate and we can measure, see if it sags. So the plan is to have the track just rolled up. In the deck, sure. We'll have the track rolled up beneath the deck. Just put the first bar in there. Front one. I've figured out a good technique for this yet. But it just rolls out. Just like so. So this is how the track turned out. I still have to swap some hardware out for some stainless stuff, but I wanted to get the project done. So I added a 1x1 aluminum back here and just 2 uprights to keep the back flap from caving in. And then the ones that you saw me, so the 3 you saw me build were the 1x2s, but it was sagging pretty good in the middle, so I found a chunk of 1x1 galvanized steel, and I added 3 pieces of that. Anyway, this is me walking up it. Seems to be pretty good. Now I just got to figure out this section here. So this is my thought process right now. I riveted, I don't know what it was, 1x1 aluminum to the front flap of the track there. And I had this stainless spring pin left over from my boat build project. And then this is 1/2 inch bar stock that I plan on bolting down through the deck. And that's some 1/2 inch plywood channel and a couple washers under there spacing it. But the plan is to just feed it in the square tubing on this side, and that'll hold it, and then stay there. And then spring that pin out of the way, and it'll engage that side. And then the track won't be ripped off, and then I'll have straps to the truck off the ramps. That's the plan. So I don't know if I'm going to mount all this stuff here until I get the Scandic up there and see how things are sitting. So I might just put a just a single screw into the deck and load this up here now. Well, here goes nothing. So I got the strap down. I threw a 2x6 across the back window. Well, it's up there and I still have a back window. The board wasn't gonna do much, but the ski guides seem to be bridging just fine, so they never made contact with the wood in between them. And this is how much I have overhanging. Maybe 14 inches, something like that. 16. Back of the lug, 18 and a half. That's what that one. The other sled's a little shorter. So we came up with a game plan. Picked the sled up with a tractor. And I think I'm gonna make a ladder that'll come right to the front or the track. I'll sit out of the 2x4s. I have a sled coming with a 2-inch paddle and they're quite flimsy, sitting on hard surfaces. So if you can support in between the lugs, you can save your lugs. And then this is an 1.5 inch track on this one, so 2x4, 2.5 inch. It allows plenty of space there that I'll be able to, once I get that mounted on the other side, I'll be using some of my aluminum here in that stainless pin, and be able to remove the track, roll it up, store it underneath while I'm driving. So I just measured to the bottom edge of that 2x2 angle iron from that where that tape measure sits. So I'm going to leave that sitting there, and when I get this track spring pin mounted and I unload the scan deck, I'm going to measure it with it off it and see if there is any bow in the middle of the deck there. Everything looks good under here. I might retighten everything now that's been riding around on the truck for a couple weeks and the foam has had time to squish down. We unloaded the scan deck. It didn't, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe a 16th or a 32nd it sagged at the scan deck up there. I'm impressed with that. Seems pretty stout, the cover I built. So I just wrapped up the locking mechanism here. So I ended up having to drill out this rivet. It was closer to the edge, but they're 1/2 inch rivets, so they were sticking down too far for how much this bar stock, 1/2 inch bar stock, was engaging in this square tubing. That's one thing I might have to tweak, is there's probably like 1 inch engagement, and I might have to shorten that up. I don't think I need that much, and if it's kind of a pain to get it started. Then I had to drill out the rivet on this side as well. And the height of this stainless thing, there was no way the pin was going to go down in there. So this is what I came up with scraps. That's all I had left of the 1x2. Put a 1/2 inch plywood edging in there and riveted it in place, and then I had this angle iron. So I drilled down through there. It's right through the track, sandwiching it into the square tubing, and then it's in the side into the top of this, and then I put one down through the rubber with a thin piece of aluminum backing for the rivet to grab. And so now you just, a little tight, but go like that. The pin is disengaged, and then you'll see I gotta fight with this. So I might cut a bit of it off, but you gotta come up and over. Ooh, that happened quicker than you guys could see. But there's so there's not much clearance under there, and you have to come sideways quite a ways, and the track doesn't really flex straight sideways. So I might, I don't think I need that much engagement. So anyway, so the last hurdle is this like a little over 7 foot pelican I have here. There's no quick connect. It's a pain in the butt to unbolt those. So I'm gonna cut here and here and make quick pins so I can remove the tow hitch, and I can slide this all the way in with the ramps on either side. I'm hoping I have enough room to put the track at the very back in behind this. If not, I'm going to have to strap it down on top of the deck with the sled, which isn't a big deal. But yeah, it's the way these fold up and over, they stick up to, that's how high they stick up. So I would never make it underneath the deck at that height with it folded over. So the plan is to be able to have this loaded, ready to go with tools, slide the ramps out from either side, and drag this down the ramp, and then the snowmobile, hook on, and go all in one load without a trailer. And then when I do have the trailer, it'll be full of beams. So that's for next video, modifying this and building the Lexan back rear window protector, and honing in on a few little things now that I've actually seen stuff work. But yeah, hopefully it works out pretty good. I put a lot of time and effort into it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned on more updates for how I'm going to get stuff up there. Just trying to get that all figured out, and then I have to get back to cutting trail this January. We gotta move everything in, so January, February is probably going to take longer than I anticipate. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one.